I believe we are live. Yes.
Right, it is, this is the Tilton Northfield Fire Commissioners meeting. It is December 9th, 2025. We're in the Tilton Town Hall downstairs meeting room. It is 5:32 p.m. Those members present include the commissioners, Kathy, Chief Bellavini, Deputy Chief Mike Robinson. We have Kevin Waldron and Greg Stetson, firefighter. In attendance, public comment. Start there. Anything? Anybody else while Kevin's looking?
You can look. Met an old colleague of yours recently, Mike or Mark Tetro. He said he worked in Franklin, and then he knew you. He became the chief in Northwood recently.
Okay.
SB 245. He goes way back.
Yeah.
SB
They bought some chairs from me.
245
Oh, okay.
is an
Yeah,
ambulance
yeah.
provider contract.
Yeah.
Yes, with the state.
Said he started off as an
The
explorer.
chief could talk more about that.
Do you want me to talk about it now or when we get to it? So SB 245 is the new, this is going to be an RSA, Senate Bill 245. It provides 325% of Medicare for ambulance, guaranteed for ambulance transport for people with insurance, in-state New Hampshire insurance. In addition to that, it prohibits balance billing. I'm going to bring it tonight. We're not going to sign the contract yet. I'm going to talk to the, we have a webinar with the state on, I believe, the 17th, Kathy,
Yes.
That's it?
So it just has to do with billing?
Yes, it's all, yeah. I'm billing for ambulance billing. It's a
Better
big,
billing.
It's a big change, but yeah.
Less chances of checks getting sent to the patient that they keep and we don't see. So,
So it should help with the in-state, out of Tilton Northfield residents.
Correct. It should help with the in-state, in Tilton Northfield,
Both.
anybody with insurance in the state of New Hampshire. And then, it'll help on both ends. It'll stop the balance billing, which wasn't great,
Yeah.
It's very stressful for our residents, and then it also will help us get reimbursed properly.
yeah, minimize
It's
write-offs.
it's only a 2-year Senate bill. So to be part of the SB 245, if I don't want to get too deep into the contract now, I guess we could talk about it now, but it's going to be a 2-year study. We have to participate in that study. There's a lot that has to, if you don't participate in the study, you don't get the 325% reimbursement. But it's a 2-year study. Then at the end of the 2 years, they'll go back and have a whole nother bill based on that study.
We want our numbers to be tracked, obviously.
Yes.
I mean, that's the whole point, was the data capture.
Now what happens, and of course I don't know what percentage of people that we transport are out of state.
I don't know those numbers off the top.
And how does it impact that billing?
Well, you see it in the non-public.
The disposition reports provides a lot of that information.
So would we still,
I believe we would still have the ability to balance bill if they didn't pay the appropriate rate. I believe, and again, I have that webinar on the 17th. But I believe for out-of-state insurance, if they didn't pay the appropriate rate, we would still balance bill.
that's
the
how I read
out-of-state.
it, but that was the question I had.
Yeah.
If they're not
Yes.
if they're out of state, can we balance bill?
Right.
Old numbers from many, many years ago when we first started studying the ambulance service and billing for it, it was 54% of the people we picked up were not residents of our communities. Now, those are old numbers, but
Yeah.
I
But what
don't
percent were
imagine
out of
it's-
state?
that I don't know. We only looked at non-residents.
And this doesn't.
Which could be Belmont, Franklin, Samberton.
Massachusetts.
There's- Right. In or out. Yeah.
Slip and fall from a Massachusetts resident at one of the restaurants,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or all the bike jockeys now that are going to the mountain and stuff. I mean,
There's a lot of
It's a big
out-of-state from
draw.
out of country.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a big draw. But we gotta start where we
Billing
can.
is easy on those. Right?
How many euros? Would you,
Yeah.
Kevin, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I see further down, I just see this now. Because the phone smell of my hair. They're gonna talk about Old Business Building Committee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll wait for that.
Okay.
Last thing I have is a question. What's the cost to the taxpayers to displace the former chief? How much did we pay him, what did it cost us in benefits?
His contract is a public document. Correct?
Yes.
So is any money paid to him?
Yes. Yes.
Not outside the terms of the contract.
So, yes, the contract required us to pay out. We did not have to pay out any additional retirement, healthcare benefits.
Legal lines were kept to a minimum, as we moved as swiftly as we could and not too much there. And I would also suggest that we try to pull it into this budget year and not roll it.
How much time was left on his contract?
There was no termination date of the contract.
It was previously drafted as a perpetual.
You gonna do that again?
We did not do that again. Chief's new contract has a term. You're welcome.
So, again,
You learn as you go along.
Try to-
You know,
we're just trying to back clean up and make better for
Nobody's perfect.
better for the families, better for the towns.
As long as you take the opportunity to learn, we're doing all
Yeah.
right. So really, for that part of that, thank you.
Yeah, and as Jason said, it's all going to be captured in this year's budget.
Painfully, but Sean's putting some brakes on some things, and we're skidding sideways at the end of the year, but done.
Further down at this building committee, is there gonna be an opportunity to speak to that?
Yes,
Hope
since
so.
You're on the building committee. I would entertain having you speak when we get to that.
Good. I hope so.
No objection from the commissioner.
No, I can't wait myself.
Okay. All right. Anything else from anybody else? All right. Correspondence. All the correspondence, I believe, is these items that we're going to talk
Yes.
about in new business.
Yes.
Is there anything else? No. Okay. Chief's report.
I sent out that chief report. I told you that I'd give you the weekly budget update. I'll give you a quick synopsis, and I can email you hard numbers if you want it. I have, but we're doing better than we were last week. Putting the brakes, not hiring the deputy until next year has really helped, and then not having another employee. So last week, we were really close. This week, we thought we're not going to have to spend that contingency fund unless we have the babies haven't been born. I don't want to. Yeah, I can send a better report and a better email report, but we're doing about $10,000 better than we were last week. And I think we're starting to see the effect of putting the spending freeze on, only spending anything that must be done. And I can send that out to you tomorrow. But so just that top portion of the budget, it doesn't look like we're going to have to go into the contingency fund, and that was my goal. I know we said, if we have to, we have to. That's what it's there for. But I feel that contingency fund is if a boiler blows up, or if I need, a heating system, or something catastrophic with the building. That's what that contingency fund is there for, and I think we're going to make it without going to that contingency fund.
So that'll be good.
So
Keep
that's
our fingers crossed.
yeah. And we're going to open up a little bit of the spending. We're going to talk about it tomorrow with Mike Captain, but about stuff that we budgeted for this year. But not a lot, but we're going to be able to get a few things that we wanted to get this year. So going down the report, it was a slow incident month. Probably the slowest since I've at least become deputy. I think we're making up for that in the past 3 or 4 days. We have been straight out. But then going down, apparatus, we're just continuing to have all the gremlins. We had some gremlins worked out today again, but it's going good. I don't want to go too fast. You guys have any questions so far?
Well, I just wanted to mention that I stopped by the station and met Mackenzie. I I liked her immediately. She seems very capable.
Mm-hmm.
She is very capable.
Very good hire. We give the credit to that to Kathy. Kathy did a lot of work on that hiring process. So.
Now, does she have any experience with websites and Facebook pages and things like that?
No, but she'll learn.
Maybe we can, that'd be something, once she seems to be doing very good on the minutes. She's picking that up quickly. So that's good. And then maybe we can, get her on the website is on my list of things to do, but it's near the bottom. I'm trying to,
It's a work in progress.
work in progress is the.
Update on the hiring?
The hiring process continues. We had two candidates ride yesterday, actually. I'm trying to line up two more for Thursday, where the job is open until noon on Thursday. We've got more applications than I thought we would get, which is good. That's a great thing, right? For the past couple hiring processes, we haven't had many. So the fact that I have 4 candidates so far that I really think are viable candidates. One was a very excellent candidate that rode yesterday. So I should know probably by Friday or Monday next week. With I have 2 more candidates that we want to bring in for interview ride time, but we should be moving forward in a good place.
It's not on here, but I had heard that over at the Lake Estates, some of the radio equipment is not working or not online.
Yeah.
Are you aware that there's something over there that's not?
I am not aware of that.
Theirs or ours?
I need to find out more information.
No, so usually if something goes out of service, once it's in service, I get a phone call from, we had another hotel that had a fire alarm issue, and I got a call from their fire alarm company. So typically I would get a call from the fire alarm company or Radio Solutions on their end. So I haven't had any communication with anybody to tell me that radio equipment is out of service.
So as far as we know, everything's up and running
Yeah.
at our end. And,
Yeah.
all right, I'll see
so-
if I can find out more.
Yeah.
And if you make a note to maybe check with them.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. Radio system. We've been up there for a couple fire alarm activations. I've spoken to Ed both times I'm up there, and he hasn't mentioned anything, and Justin also. So no one. I was just up there. Is it Friday or Monday? Friday.
Right, anything else on that?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Microwave link at Park Street. What, did we not have one?
No, so I actually that's again. There's a lot of things on my list of things to do. Me and Kathy have been talking about that. I believe that actually might be done yet, but I haven't verified it, so I can't. I don't want to cross it off the list if I haven't verified that it's done. That was part of the grant.
The other thing. The other prior grant?
That was the I can't remember what fiscal year, but that's the grant to put the microwave link, the one at the estate, on
Oh, okay.
the estate and then Park Street to expand that.
But I thought the estate was fiber, not microwave.
The fiber was that was the portion that was they kind of lost in the mix,
Yeah.
and that the grant didn't cover the fiber. It said fiber link needed to happen, and it went to
Right.
the PD, and that's
So
what it
there's
was.
microwave there.
Yes.
For the other direction.
Correct.
Okay.
And there was another one being installed on the Park Street station, and I'm working on getting some updates on
All right.
that.
What's WebCAD?
WebCAD is our dispatch center, Tyler, uses Tyler Graphics. Tyler Graphics. Tyler, what's the name of it? Tyler's the name of the CAD. So that's a computer-aided dispatch. It's a computer program we have on the tablets. So the first do apparatus, all 4, the 2 ambulances, 2 engines, and then 2 chief's cars on the iPads. You can respond. When you hit responding, they get it up there. Then a whole new screen pops up here, tells you where everybody is, tells you where it tracks GPS. So at Center Street currently, we have a TV screen. Anytime you update something on this iPad, it automatically updates it on the
Okay.
TV screen
Menu
here.
board type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
alright.
So we're working. We have the TV.
You're just trying to duplicate it.
Duplicate it down there. It's there's no real. There was a little small cost to it. It cost us, I think, around $600 to get it set up down there. But it's really for the call guys, so they can see where we are, what's going on, and shows all the
Alright,
other.
next
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Training and development. Greg, Ryan, and
David George.
Dave. All fire inspector one.
Correct.
What's the strategy for the coming year to have that? It seems duplication, but is there part timers between call and career or coverage or-
So all our captains are required to be fire inspector ones. That's
Alright.
always been a requirement.
Okay.
So that's so Greg and Ryan looking for promotion. They
Yeah,
need that
yeah,
fire inspector
yeah.
one. David George is our part-time inspector. Now he's a certified gas fitter. He's a certified plumber.
He's your fill-in
He's
part timer.
yeah. He's the
He's the guy that travels.
Yes,
Goes out off the
correct.
radar for a little
yeah.
bit.
So him being a fire inspector one just increases what he can do
Okay.
as an inspector.
Alright.
So yeah, it's a fire inspector one's a very typical for any senior firefighter, captain level officer.
Yeah.
Fire inspector two would be more of that senior level.
Is that where you were at? Is two?
Yeah. Yes, I'm a fire inspector two.
Two. Okay.
I believe I'm the only fire inspector two in the department right now.
Currently you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the vision, really, for the code for the
Yeah. For the code enforcement.
day-to-day
Yeah.
environment, right?
Yeah, Fire Inspector 1, they've actually changed the name. I don't want to get too deep, but it's called First Responder Inspector and Fire Inspector now. It's Fire Inspector 1's a guy going out and doing a company level inspection with a checklist.
Yep.
So I have a checklist, go do this inspection.
Yep.
Fire Inspector 2, you make that checklist and tell them what to
Oh,
inspect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like if somebody's building and they may not know what they don't know.
Yes.
Plans review, more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was all I had.
Okay.
Circled.
Paul, anything?
No, that's perfect.
Thank you.
Ambulance committee.
We'll wait till probably
Yeah.
February, March.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing for next
Yeah,
budget year.
good.
But I want to get it together and I want to have good data. I don't
Yeah.
want to rush it and then just put stuff on the warrant next year.
See what the interest is, and I'm sure you'll put a good team together.
You knew. Okay, I'll wait till we get to that new business. Okay. Anything else on the chief's report?
Just a note, we did our annual boot drive up at the mall for the children's auction, and this year we will present a check to them for $1,500. Approximately $1,200 or $1,300 raised from the boot drive, and then the Relief Association wanted to make it a nice round number. Relief Association threw in around $200 to $300 to make it a nice $1,500.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you for all that hard work. All right, anything else before we move on? All right, let's go to building committee. Where do you want to start?
Well, I'll let off the gas because you're the ex officio, but, you know, I got mixed messages, so maybe you have more than I do.
I think the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't, couldn't get my head around seeing the word announced as the term disbanded. Because I don't know under whose authority or whose guidance that comes.
I don't know why that was said that way, that
Okay.
the building committee was disbanded, because I don't know that we disbanded the building.
Yeah, I think we still need one, and
Right. We just
maybe
need to-
more than ever, but, you know, I think the resources need to be, okay, pause or hiatus or on hold or, but we don't wanna,
Yeah,
yeah.
so,
Alright, but that's why I wasn't fully in, I didn't know if I got a stray message that wasn't part of a
No, and I think when that message went out, I know Kevin responded to that same thing. I didn't realize we disbanded. Did I miss a meeting?
Right.
No.
I get this tension and frustration. We get a lot of feedback. We get a lot of notes. We get a couple of curveballs sent our way, but
So then the next question is, how do we move forward to provide a direction for the building committee?
Mhm.
And then, based on the answer to that question, is there a way to get a reasonable estimate from Lorero as to how much money we should anticipate needing to have to pay for their services
Right.
for whatever we decide?
Yep.
So that we can put that in the warrant. And then the next question would be, how do we fund that amount of money? Are we going to ask for it, which is another conversation.
is it a warrant article, or do we?
Is it a warrant
Or
article
can
that's
we-
funded
can
by
we
taxes?
spend from the? Are we agents of the building fund?
Or agents of the building fund, but I would still put it as a warrant.
And I'd
article.
still want the voice of the people. That's kind of how I feel in those things typically.
So those are all, how do we move forward?
Okay. Just because we can doesn't mean we always should, but. I'm still processing the official position of Firefighters Association. Did not see that coming. I'm just going to struggle with that, and I'm going to continue to try to analyze that.
I don't have a clear vision.
They had a seat at the table for 4 years, right? There was representation on the committee. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
I think in retrospect, there was a lot of, how do I put this? There was a lot of direction that was established early on, and some of those other voices may not have been heard very well.
Gotcha.
We also, I think, early on, maybe I'm going to use the word alienated the firefighters early on.
Mm-hmm.
And then we struggled to have their presence. At
There was an
meetings.
attendance issue. I remember that.
And Kevin was on the committee, so I don't know if he wants to expound on that, but and it's not been the first building committee that I've been on where I think the committee was steered in certain directions that maybe weren't.
As open-minded or as fluid or. Okay.
I know one of the firefighter members, I had a long conversation with him about, hey, look, we need you to be there. They'd like you to be there. We need your input. And I know one of his reactions was, look, when I get there, these decisions are already made. Somebody's already put us on a highway, and that person didn't want to hear what I had to say. He said, so I even stopped going,
Yes.
Okay, but I don't think we're too far off. Well, I didn't think we were too far off a pretty decent path for one property and the next. I think we all just got a little sticker shock at the end of the rainbow there, and maybe there's some revisions, and maybe that, I think maybe it was Lisa or some others that were like, great, so now we're going to wait a year and get less building for the same or more money. We could take off the host tower, but guess what? That building next year is going to cost us the same as it did with the host tower. Stuff like that. I mean, those kind of, you can tweak a design as much as you want, but costs continue to accelerate, and the smaller you make it and break even. And guess what? It's this year we made it smaller. It's only 20.5 million. But we don't know because we don't have the more complete interiors of all the systems and everything there. So
Somebody brought up something interesting in one of the meetings. They're not even sure you could build up there. It's going to be voted on that the
Right.
people are going to And if that don't pass, then,
Then that doesn't go and.
yeah,
It certainly changes the direction.
yeah.
And it's
So that means it would, you know, I would think they'd find out before we go any further.
So my takeaway from all this, the last week or two of thinking about this was, I think there's a general agreement that the building committee provided the solution that they were asked to provide.
Oh, completely,
That we all think that it's too much money,
right.
and that bringing that before the district is not, you know, the prudent thing to do.
Right.
It also brought up, or made me realize that the select board in Tilton has changed since we had that original conversation about that property up there. They were all very enthusiastic about having a building up there
Right.
and getting the property down here for parking. And I'm sitting going, what has changed? Well, in my mind, and it's not like I've actually had this conversation with the select board, but the select board has changed.
Mhm.
3 of the members that were on the select board back in the day aren't on the select board
Right.
anymore. And the other thing that changed, and I got some feedback from this, was, wait, you're not putting the headquarters up here? I think there was a lot of support from the select board with having the having the fire station up there, but having it be the headquarters up there.
Right.
When we moved it over to Northfield, it was like, well, wait a minute. So you're right. I think we would need to, if we want to continue with that path of having that property available, yes, we need to move forward. But I walked away from those early meetings with the select board going, yeah, they would absolutely work with us to make that happen, and they were all optimistic about, making that property available,
Right.
and that they could based on how they purchased it.
Right.
If they don't feel that way anymore,
Yeah,
obviously we'd need to
different conversation.
reintroduce that conversation. So then we have the meeting where we get this whole new concept of maybe building over here at Center Street, and you go, all right, well, based on just napkin drawing, you're saying maybe $5 or $6 million. That certainly would be more palatable, but is that realistic? And then what are all the issues with Center Street?
And is that a 50-year plan?
So, in my mind, that's a synopsis of where we're at. So I sat here and thought about it, and I'll keep talking until someone interrupts me. I apologize, but my initial thought was, all right, how do we go back to the plan with the 2 stations and strip that out? And will that even get us down to what is the number that's feasible? Is it 10 million? Is it 12 million? Is it 15 million? What is the number that's feasible? I don't know that number. But, can we get a couple $1 million out of the station up here on Sanborn Road?
Right.
Can we just build admin offices next to the station on Park Street and do nothing with the apparatus bay?
Yeah.
How much money does that save? And can you get to a $10 or $12 million project? I don't know.
Right.
Obviously, what kind of compromises are you willing to make? Do you want to give up the masonry building and go with some other less expensive building? Do you
Wood
want to get rid of-
frame, or I don't know. I mean,
all those types of questions. How can you reorient it with fewer bays so you need less pavement? All those kind of things that hopefully the Lorero could help you with. How do you do this less expensively?
right.
So that was one of the thoughts I had,
Mm-hmm.
because it still maintains 2 stations.
Yeah.
And then the logistics of, all right, I'm sure there'd be a whole group of people who would support a Center Street station, but logistically, is that even feasible?
Yeah, I'm just one guy, but I can't see ever doing anything 2-story long-term that, in that postage stamp of what there is with limited parking and limited access. And to Lisa's point, where do you, if you just did that, where do you put everybody and everything while you've leveled that? Everybody's gonna live in job site trailers, and you're gonna run offices out of job site trailers, and you're gonna park, try to get garage space somewhere that's heated, where you can keep things from water from freezing or compromising equipment or anything. How do you build in place when you have no place to build? How do you stage material, and how do you bring in trucks, and how do you stage equipment and pipe and, you know, all that stuff?
Oh,
On
building,
land you don't
building
know.
materials, right?
Yeah. So, great idea, but you just don't have a lot of, you know, room to move.
Any thoughts there, Paul?
Well, there's gotta be a solution somewhere. It's just coming up with the right one. I don't know, I guess I would give it some thought, everybody should give it some thought, see what we come up with. There's gotta be an answer.
Well, I think you have a much more conservative group in front of you now. And I think you've heard from the firefighters a little bit, though with mixed reaction, but none of them asked for big. They like cozy. I saw big. I think what you have in front of you is a group that can come up with a much more conservative approach that can work and work very well. And I'd really like to, I respect all those people on the committee, because I've been on several of those, and several of those with the same results, and there's nothing more discouraging than that. But boy, it sure would be nice to strike while the iron is hot and say, hey, look, we waited for Lorero for a long time. We kept saying, how much, how much? And this thing went on for a long, long time, and then all of a sudden they said 22 million, and we went, what? Well, what do we do now? You know, it's way out of reach. So is there a more palatable number? Again, I think you and I had a conversation at one point. We've got to sell this to people. They've got to support it. What is the number? I don't know, but it's got to be a palatable one. And I think if we can strike while the iron is hot and come up with a reasonable plan, they've got 22 million in the back of their head, and hey, we just came in with X, and it's significantly less. I think that we might get a more positive reaction.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, the do not exceed wording doesn't quite strike when you throw a number, because I think everybody just sees the number and say, that's it.
Yeah.
That's, you know, why would anybody do it for any less than that? That's the do not exceed number. And, you know, I think the slides were pretty clear that they're, the you know, Lorero's stake is a number. It's not, we get everything over 15 million comes to us. It's, you know, we're not going to build it for 10 and keep 12. It's, these are the rough costs, and here's what our number is for their profit. You know, I mean, that was a line item. That wasn't like a, give us a pile of money, we'll give you a building. We're secretive, and it's all open book and open. But you know, that is part of the sales pitch, is the terminology and stuff. I don't, you know, I'm not crazy about the number, and I get once you start to get five companies in every trade looking at a finished set of drawings, and all, you know, it's an eye opener of, you know, more detail, more competition, and you refine where you're going. But you know, they had a, you know, those drawings were kind of a napkin of, here's the outline, here's the floor plan, bid it, you know. Right. And you don't need, you know, the armchair quarterback in the back saying, well, I saw online that building is $100, you know, it's a square foot. No. So I think the better the information, the better that we get with, you know, quality drawings and better more bids on each subset, then that's where you can sell it. But I think there's some refinement to be done, and I still believe in the overall concept. You know, I just don't know how we could. I'd hate to throw a lot of money at exploring or doing a study on Center Street.
We did.
That would be money out
We
to
already
me.
did.
What?
We already did.
On Center Street?
We spent $9,000 for 3 pieces of paper of free information.
We've spent a lot of money everywhere.
So the The other night when you first heard about Center Street,
Yeah,
was not the first time that plan was spoken at that table.
wow. Well, anyway, I talked so you could stop, but
I'll try to help out.
yeah, I mean,
It's a real life preserver.
it's Kevin's turn.
Kevin, I know where to begin, right?
And my first thought is, you will not be successful in refining the $20 million plan to a number that will fly. There's not enough there to do what you want to do in both places. Because as we went along, we did cut. We made sushi out of that too. We cut the shit out of it in places. So you're not going to refine that because $1 or $2 or $3 million is another number. Of course, the real deal is that it's the commission's responsibility to formulate a plan to present to the voters. It's fine that you use a committee because, I mean, it saves you guys a lot of work. And you get a broader range of knowledge, ideas, and personality. And believe it or not, and I get the what, how, I get the how do you do it. But to this day, the plan that makes the most sense to me is right there. How do you do it? I believe to keep the mass of the organization in Tilton, I think the Tilton Board of Selectmen would become Gumby and just bend all over the place to facilitate whatever was needed as far as access. I mean, why wouldn't they? I mean, there's no benefit to them to say, yeah, no, they ain't doing it. I'm not going to help you. It's not to their benefit. It is to their benefit to have a station, and I don't know what it is. 3 bays. We own more land than we thought we did. We don't, or it's deeper, or it's wider, or whatever that survey shows us. Which, where is that?
I haven't seen that either.
I haven't requested it. I know Chief Seatar did request it twice. I was CC'd on the email. We haven't received it yet. I can follow up with Scott tomorrow.
That is going to very well could be a very handy piece of information. What you actually have to play with. And I think the caveat of done right, it'll fly. And I think as long as we keep the people's opinion of the organization the way it is today, it'll fly. If we get bogged down in some minutia or whatever and take something away from that, your chance increases and decreases. And for that project, if I was sitting in one of those 3 chairs, I would say, do we need a committee? I learned more, I think that was my 4th committee. I learned more about personalities and who thinks what matters. We spent a lot of time on that committee on stuff that, if I had a nickel every time I said, well, it's outside the purview of this committee, I could probably buy a half a cup of coffee. But that's what was spent.
Yeah.
You know, what are you gonna put in that bay? I don't care what goes in that bay. I just wanna know that square footage is correct. And we pooped away hours on what's going where, which is irrelevant. It doesn't make any difference. We want everything undercover. I don't care if, as I'm looking at the building, the ambulance in the left or the right bay, and the boat's behind it. The committee's gotta stay more focused. I don't know of any real personality conflicts on that committee. I don't think there was any. It was a good mix of personalities. If the days that everyone was there were better than days that weren't, I think. And the people who were able to attend the most seemed to be, well, they'd be more abreast of what's going on, wouldn't they, because they're there the most. So I don't think you should just go, hey, wait, we're gonna pause and we're just gonna sit and spin. I think you've got some momentum that you won't have to rebuild if you keep going. If you stop, you're gonna. And I think I said this before, I think it speaks volumes for you as a group to not put the $21 million deal on the line. Because if you do that, you might as well stand up at the meeting and plug your ears and stick your tongue out. Because
Give
that's,
them overripe tomatoes on the way in, and you can throw it.
you know, that speaks volumes, that your ears are open. And you want to do what the people want you to do. You want to do what the people want.
I mean, Kevin, so you're saying right here, you suppose Tilton would ever sell a piece of land or give us a piece of land to make the station bigger here? I mean, it's to their benefit as well as.
Yeah, they got a parking problem.
Well, I think every town does anyhow.
To a degree, yeah. But,
Yeah.
I mean, right here is like, I mean, it's hard to get through no matter. It's just now Center Street is that, right? 'Cause this has a different name.
Rescue Road and then
Tri-
Center Street
Tri-
runs
Tryon,
from,
Dave Tryon.
is that School Street?
Yes.
Over here.
To,
School Street over here.
I don't even know where I am. I'll have to turn around.
Is it Alley Street?
So
Is
School
the
Street's
last one?
right here. Center Street runs to back to Main Street.
It runs to is it Alley Street? Where it basically to the
end of the
curb where the ATM machine used to be, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't go back to Main Street. There's another name for that.
So, would they sell you or give you a piece of land?
And there's private landowners that own the buildings that own some of that too, of that parking.
Yeah, and it's not
not the most.
it's not next to our land, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's not, there's a space of town land between
Yes.
the private.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, there's compromises over there, right?
you know, till,
In a new building, would you need the land behind it, so now you can't drive behind the building? Which is where a lot of the guys park and how you get to the other part of the parking lot?
it's I don't know. I in my mind, as I've been spinning the hell out of it for 2 weeks now, it makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah.
Does and it doesn't, because if you could do a 2-story there for $5 million, why couldn't you do a single story there for $5 million?
Where?
At Sanborn.
Location,
It's
location.
Yeah, but 2 stories
There
are
ain't a
more
person-
expensive typically. Even though the roof's smaller, now you've got elevators
There
and
isn't a person alive that I know that said, we really, 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 I mean, really, we really ought to have a station on Sanborn Road. I don't think that position is as popular as some people think.
If you had,
based on opinion or data. Based on how
Well,
they feel or
data-
what they know. Or
Data
what they
doesn't
can,
vote,
I know, but
but I know exactly where you're going.
you know, fish where the fish are. And East Tilton has been grumbling for a long time. They just can't bring the boat. you know, ever since the Windswamp station, which was probably not a heavy hitter, but it created, there was gaps, and Sandlerton isn't, you know, coming down, you know, and taking care of that. And, things happen over there, and it's still a little bit of a hop to get back here, but
And
the 50-year plan would call for a footprint in that side of the district.
I don't believe you're going to get a 50-year plan. No one's going to buy a 50. You know what? A 50-year plan is $21 million right now. And if you scale it, the reason why I don't think you can
So we just do 10 million every
pare
10
it back
years.
to an acceptable number, because if you do that, you're going to have something that you can add to. And as we've learned, we're living it, as building codes change, when you go to add, it may not be addable because of the building codes.
Hence the
way things change.
Right, and the more sellable to have 3 bays instead of 2, or, you know, 3 doors instead of 2, and to have 4 beds instead of 2, because if and when Park Street or headquarters was to be established, and the 4 go there, then you're only at 2. Now you've got 2 beds. Now you're not expanding. Now you've got you can actually have it convert a bedroom to an administrative office, or you have flexibility because you've already built a shell, and you got a little bit of buffer, and you wouldn't have to add beds, and you wouldn't have to add a bay, and that's your long term, because it's those additions that kill you. That's what's allegedly the word on Park Street.
Right, it was built to add under, now we can't add under, we can't load that roof.
Right. And then somebody had the idea to make that the office and have trucks roll, you know, build up the depression and roll out closer to the exit ramp with sight distance and, yeah, you know.
I think whatever plan goes to the voters, or whenever it goes, that plan needs to be paid for before you ask for more. So if we go with what we think might be a 15-year plan, don't bond it for 20 years.
Well, I think that was part of the original discussion, you know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, was we'd do the 2-station solution, because if you got one approved, if you could get one approved, you wouldn't be able to get the other one approved until, you know, you were finished paying off the first
Right.
one. Which should be
Yeah,
20 years
you
down
can't
the
borrow
road.
10 million every 10 years. Because you're still, like you said, you're still paying.
I'm a lot easier to convince to give up some money when I'm not still paying for the money I already gave you. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't have an answer about whether you need or want another committee, you don't. That's something you guys have to come
Well,
up.
you brought up that, do we need a committee? And I thought the same thing. You know, we know where we're at right now, so is this something that commissioners can do? You know, like if we were just gonna rework the plan with making a whole bunch of changes, then, you know, we could certainly do that without the committee. But anyway, that's obviously a conversation for the commissioners.
Simple, you three, because it was your direction that the committee was set on that got us where we are. So if you have a new direction, or different direction, or whatever it is, it's gotta come from you.
Right.
It's not, it can't come from anyone else.
And then the question is, do we need the committee to move forward with that, or is that something we can move forward?
Right.
And you're gonna need some money to continue.
Right.
So you are agents to the
Land and Building Fund.
land building fund. It's done that way by warrant.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a warrant in to use money from the land and building committee, and it gets voted down, and you do it anyway,
Oh, that's bad. You can't do that.
you could do it.
You could,
You absolutely
because
could.
if 30 people out of 6,000 are the voting, then
You absolutely could.
yeah, I'm not getting a read.
You wouldn't want to.
You shouldn't,
Right.
and if I was in one of those chairs, I wouldn't.
But you can.
But I mean, so I get what you're facing. Do we ask for tax money for 100,000 again? Do we say, well, we'd like to do this, and we have the money?
Right, in years past, we've asked for $100,000, plus we've asked for $100,000 to put into that fund, all coming from taxation.
And if no matter which way you ask for the money, because unless you fudge 100 grand somewhere in the budget and just do it out of the budget without asking anybody, that'll catch up with you really quickly. If you don't get engineering money, what then? Because you need engineering money.
Right.
You
You can't
cannot.
move forward. Right.
That door is closed without engineering, and it's locked. If you are told no engineering money, the whole project,
Right.
let's not get there. And I don't, that's not where we want to be, where we want to go. Just from my perspective.
Right.
I'm sure there's someone around going, I got the radar here, let's not do it. So you can do it, I think you can get it done.
I think one of the things we need to do is have a conversation with the Lorero to get a sense for how much money.
To get to the next, to get to the final.
Right. They held back, what?
10,000. Yeah. That was to, I think they said it was enough money to tweak the plans we have now, but if we wanted to go anywhere different. If I read that email correctly.
Yeah, well, right. Well, they were holding it back in case we went to district meeting, and this would allow them to.
So if you go with a whole new plan,
Yeah.
would you stay with Laurel?
Well, that's another question.
Well, where were the weaknesses? Why wouldn't we? I wasn't involved, and I don't have the contact you guys had over 4 years. So that's why you put out an RFQ or an RFP, and you get 2 bids, and you flip the coin, and we got what we got. And
I'd say the biggest frustration with Lorero was the waiting,
okay,
I think they're,
and we kept changing. We kept changing things.
yeah.
I think their prices were high. $38,000 for a metal roof on a hotel. That's way out of range. And now, right up front, I voted no when it come time to hire them. I was the lone dissenting vote on that committee. And it was just based on a gut feeling. I don't know them people from hole in the ground. And if you have a whole new plan, I hate to reinvent the wheel, but there were 4 or 5, maybe even 6 originally interested in that. Then we had that meeting at Park Street that showed great divide in the community. And 3 of them walked right away, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They did, no, I'm not dealing with that.
Right.
And honestly, I think, and I can't remember their name, but one of those 3 that walked, I thought would have been best. And I can't. If I had all the names, I'd tell you. But it was so long ago, I forgot their name. But, you can't be scaring people away right out of it. They
Well, we also had that one guy who gave us a proposal to help us with the whole contracting thing, and then I think he went out and did some research and same thing, realized, oh, these folks don't have a consensus from the community, and it's going to be a frustration. And then withdrew their proposal.
So the mountain we gotta climb is no small.
No.
It's just, we, I hope, are gonna try to climb it differently.
Well, I agree that we need to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, we got some momentum going, we have to keep moving forward. And I think we absolutely need to talk to Lorero to see what level of work that $10,000 will get us, because we're not, it wasn't completely clear. And then additionally, what dollar amount should we plan if we want to do, you know, a different project? And then we have to decide how we want to move forward.
If your target's the 2027 meeting,
Mm-hmm.
don't let any grass grow under your feet.
Right.
Come quick.
Don't make rash decisions because you feel pressured by time,
Right.
but
Yeah.
keep the wheels moving.
It's only gonna cost more. We just gotta tighten up a plan.
Sean, can we schedule a meeting with them next Monday?
Yep. That's the, what day is that?
15th.
The 15th. But it's spelled. Who should I, do you,
Brian.
Hmm?
Oh,
no, do you want the whole commission, just,
no, it can't be the whole.
oh, can't be the whole commission, the same, okay, as our normal, alright.
You and I.
You and I, okay, perfect, yep.
I'll ask those questions.
Public meeting? Public meeting? Or,
No, but we'll have to have one afterwards so we can update you.
meet with them here and I sit in the cheap seats and listen. But, never mind.
There'll be more. I'm sure they'll ask a bunch of questions. And we'll have to wait to hear back from them.
Is that it?
I don't know. If it was an easy answer, we
I'm not
would have
saying
done it
that.
years
I'm not
ago.
saying
It would have been
anything
done,
else.
yeah. No, I guess I just want to say for 10 seconds, just to remind people, because we have the cameras here, that we're going to answer the mission with or without the station right now.
Yeah.
And we do a great job, that the staff does a great job. We're going to continue to do that great job. There's roadblocks and hiccups and delays, but we get the job done, and we're going to continue to get the job done. And hopefully move forward and get a good building someday.
And the firefighters are right on board with you there, absolutely. But we as the commissioners and the taxpayers need to provide them with a safe environment to do that. And we've been woefully inadequate at providing that for a number of years. Right. Anything else, Mike? Gavin?
If you do decide to go with the committee,
Yeah.
the one you have should actually be disbanded. Not because there's any angst, and
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of process. Because the committee did what you asked, handed you the results,
Yeah.
and now they're done. I'm not saying if you do a new committee to exclude anybody, that's not, or to automatically include someone, I don't know. It's a process. This committee has done what you have asked. Thank you. This again, we'll figure it out.
Interesting. Hadn't thought about it that way.
It's like the end of a term, right? At the end of a term, sometimes you get put back in, sometimes you get.
The contract didn't have an end date, so it's auto renewing.
There you go.
It's not conditional.
Auto payment. You know, I just think that as a matter of process, it's come, the committee came to fruition, yeah, absolutely.
I said about how I feel about that, but I guess, you know, should we disband the committee, thank them for their service, and,
And then draft them all next year.
well, in any effect, we certainly should thank the committee for
Yeah.
all their hard work and all the hours they put into it, and, you know, appreciate the work that was done, absolutely. I think I'll just leave it at that until we decide
Yep.
to move forward, or which direction, or how we move forward.
I think you'll find there's gonna be a couple that don't wanna. I mean, Paul Blaisdell said a number of times, this is it for him,
Yeah,
but
he's taking it pretty hard.
I don't think he'll give up though. Nah.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you, Kevin. All right, can we move on? We have some budget.
Often wondered
All right, budget.
what happened.
Do I have the latest budget?
You do have to
in the
look
bottom.
at
It's in the bottom of the
Bottom.
packet.
Bottom.
Bottom of the
Yeah.
packet.
Yep.
So it's on page,
So what's wrong with auditing?
page 2.
Auditing, we found out that the Gatsby 75 that we had done last year, they've reduced the rates, and our auditors are advising us to have it done again this year for a reduced, it'll be $1,250 to have that Gatsby 75 done again. Our auditors told us that it would save us thousands of dollars down the road.
How do they figure that?
It has to do with borrowing money and bonding and all of that.
Right, we did that a couple of years ago.
We did that a couple of years ago and the rates have dropped, so they're recommending that we get it done again.
So that's why the line item.
That's
here
why
is
the line item is
proposed
there, yes,
An extra $1,250.
yes.
What page?
Page
Two.
2.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm looking for line 1450.
It should be 4150.
Oh, well, that's why I couldn't find it.
Did I type it backwards?
Yeah.
Of course I
So
did.
if you just go to the next
Yeah.
page,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Highlighted.
it should be highlighted yellow.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
dyslexic.
Why did we spend $12,500 this year?
Because the Gatsby 75 was included in this year's budget, and it was more expensive than
Moving forward.
moving forward.
Well, it's cheaper if they're only going 1 year's worth of stuff, right? Versus how many years of books did they go through in that other one?
The other one was our first one, and this one, they already
Okay.
have the majority of information.
Yeah, so to do a recap is a whole lot cheaper than, yeah.
All right, well, I'll move to amend line 4150 to $11,850. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
So next year it'll be cheaper.
Yes.
Remember that.
Yeah.
$1,850.
Deflation.
All right, any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Fire prevention, is that just now we have the amounts?
So this is we haven't done the. Oh, where did I put it?
It's in the packet.
It's in the packet. I'm just looking for my. So this is usually a warrant article. So we were doing warrant articles tonight. So I wanted to have this fire prevention budget here for you. to do that warrant article and go over that fire prevention budget if you want it, because to get that warrant article done, you'll need it. I know I didn't send this out to you, I apologize for that you didn't get a chance to see it till tonight. I don't know if you want a minute to go over it, you want me to go over it?
Well, why don't you go over it? Go
All
over
right.
it together.
Alright, so the first item is the extinguisher training, that's just the staff funding. We've done that for the past couple of years, that we provide the extinguisher training to businesses in town, and that's what that first line item is.
How often do you do that for these companies? Is that every year?
Some of them are every year, some of them are not. Like, we did not do Tanger Outlets or Uptown Plastics this year. 3M is a yearly one, Compass Academy is a yearly one, SPX is a yearly one, Hampton Inn, Holiday Inn are a yearly one. Spalding Academy is a 2-day yearly one. And again, not every time that we do the fire extinguisher training do we hire people in. It's like Spalding Academy, we do, I think, 180 people. So that's when we hire the additional people in. Usually the Hampton Inn and Holiday Inn, we do that with just the staff on duty, because it's usually a group of about 15 people. So it really depends on the size of the group, whether we're hiring people in or not. So it's usually, Compass Academy, we usually hire one person in for that. Spalding will hire 2 to 3 people in for that one.
So this is the amount of money to cover that extra staff.
Correct.
Got it.
The next line is the same thing, but for fire education. That's Toucher Trucks. Our call company especially comes in for a lot of our Toucher Trucks. We have the events at the library, the schools. So this is the staff for those events. Sometimes we handle them, like when we go to the daycares, the ARC and Whole Child. That is just an on-duty activity. If we get a call, they come back at a different time. Same thing with the high school has the daycare there. We go to that, but that's just the staff on duty. These are the bigger events that we need to bring trucks, like the National Night Out, the event at the library, events like the actual fire prevention week at the elementary school is when we hire the people in. But a lot of this is done by on-duty staff that this doesn't account for.
All right, let me ask you this one. I have a recency, you and I were there, Christmas parade. We had an extensive inventory of rolling real estate through the parade.
Mm-hmm.
Paid?
Usually the
Volunteer.
parade volunteer.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So the fireworks we'll get.
I mean, we look great.
Yeah. No.
We have a lot of-
Parades are typically volunteer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. That's
Yep.
cool. I mean,
Yep.
I
Yeah. That's about the it. I think other than the parade, we pay for everything. The parade's the only.
And that dollar amount is based on how many hours?
I have that in a different piece of paper.
because they're the same.
Yeah, it's
13,
so
24.
so we have an overtime calculation. We just use the overtime because it's where did I put that? Here it is. All right. Yeah, that's based on 24 hours of overtime for a middle rate firefighter.
Just taking an average.
Yeah, just taking an average. Yeah. I guess I should have that piece of paper. So the third line is the fireworks. Fireworks we pay the detail rate when it's a Class B firework, which is big fireworks like you'd have at Old Home Day. Where as soon as those fireworks hit the ground, we're required by law to have a firefighter on scene. It's usually a 10-hour detail, so we have 2 men so they can relieve each other, take breaks, take lunch. And so for Old Home Day and then the Christmas parade is budgeted for 8 hours. Old Home Day is budgeted for 20 hours. And the detail rate's the same whether you're a common or a full-timer. It's usually the call staff that usually handles this one. So this is covering the Old Home Day and Christmas parade. Any other fireworks detail we have, we do bill, and it wouldn't come out of this fund. It would come out of that bill.
So the Christmas one was out of this.
The Christmas one was out of this, correct? Yeah. But the Christmas one was just for the fireworks.
Yeah. Theoretically, so if you had 2 people, you had 2 two on the detail, staggered. Somebody drove in the parade, you go back and relieve the other guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the Christmas parade, that's why it's shorter. It's only 8
Yeah.
hours because even with
It's a smaller display.
it's in their display. They're Class C fireworks.
Okay.
They're not the same as Class B. So they can start to set up without us there. Where Class B firework, like Old Home Day, we have to be there.
Yeah.
With Class C, and the laws are changing on Class C. I just talked to Keith Bowden and through the state about how it's changing. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but you're going to need a license to light off Class C fire. Right now, you do not need a
Yeah.
license. So who needs to be there for the display may also change too.
He
But-
inspects my buildings every year.
Oh, does he? Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, and, the other private firework displays we have in town, which we haven't really had any, except for the one on the lake. We do charge a detail rate, and that just gets paid by whoever's doing the fireworks. Next line, this is new. I'm asking to add an arson investigator to the payroll. It's not a new position. It's just asking to have one of the staff members we have on duty on our staff now to become an arson investigator. So this is a 1-year cost. This is a huge cost. I understand that, but we currently don't have an arson investigator on staff. And I'm not naming a name because I would open it up to the full-time staff,
Yeah.
and it would be an application process. And there would be an application. I know we have a couple people that are interested in it, and I don't want to say, okay, you are the arson investigator. So the class is it's a 4-week class, 40 hours a week, very intense, probably the hardest firefighting class there is at the academy. It is invite. You have to apply and then go through an oral board process. It's not just first come, first serve like a lot of the classes. We don't have a lot of fires, but when we do, it's good to have an arson investigator on, at least somebody who can go in. I've taken classes, I've taken the CCI classes, I've taken online classes and short things here and there, but for me to go in and truly investigate a fire, that's beyond my scope.
Yeah.
We have the ability to call in the state fire marshal if there's a death or an injury, but they don't have a big staff either.
Right.
So there would be ongoing fees with this, but not nearly this number here. This is the paying for the class and paying for the overtime to be in that class.
That's
And
the overtime too?
That's
I
the
was
o-
just trying to figure
Yeah,
out the payroll
no.
side.
So
of it,
the
'cause-
payroll side of it, the class is $675, and I
Okay.
have the payroll side at
Okay,
$6,600.
that's,
Yeah,
all right.
so that's where.
That's the you're all in.
Yeah, that's all in, and that actually, I did put 10 hours in there additionally. I
Yeah.
probably would, to come back and investigate fires, it's done.
Yeah.
So,
Now, is there like you do with the paramedic, you pay for the training, they get the overtime, is there a stipulation where they gotta stick around and? I mean, you're probably gonna get that with the right guy anyway. but-
yeah, I think having the application process and finding a guy who's invested in the department,
Yeah.
and not just sending whoever wants to go.
Right.
This would be, you apply for the job.
You kinda want that return on the investment.
Yeah.
So what do we do now if you have to investigate?
So I do an investigation. It's a book investigation, but I'm not certified to do it, and I'm not very scientific with it. I do what I can do in my abilities. I don't try to go outside my scope. So most of our fires go on cause undetermined because I can find the area of origin, but I can't find the actual cause. And because I can't use something I don't know, like I can't say, well, there's these type of scorch marks on this wire, so that means this happened. I've never been trained in that, so I can't use that in my investigation. Does that make sense? So, because if that ever went to court, they'd be like, how would you know that?
Yeah.
Well, I've read about that once. Well, you were never trained in that. So when you go testify in court, they take your curriculum vitae, I think. It's like a resume, but it's chronological order. You put that together, and when you go sit and testify in the stand, it's you proving that you're an expert. And this class is making you not an expert, but it's beginning that transition into becoming an expert in that field, which I am not. And that's how we've always done it. I'll call sometimes we had a lithium. I was 99% sure there was a fire we had was caused by a lithium battery, and I called the fire marshal's office, and he's like, well, no one was hurt. There was no deaths, for me to come up and, it's, so that's what that line is. Next line down is,
Just me, it seems like we should have had that all along.
We've had it in the past. Brad Ober was an investigator, you know, and I believe Tim Jubert had finished that a little bit before he left. And yeah, so we've had them before, but we've never really used it. So I was hoping to get somebody, you know, and then they can come back. You know, I would typically want somebody who lives close by, so when I call them, they can be here within 15, 20 minutes. You know, I wouldn't pick somebody that would be for somebody who lives 2 hours away. You know, and get that done. The next is the smoke detectors, CO detectors, and batteries that we hand out to the public every year. Again, and if nothing else in this budget passes, this is the most important line in this whole budget right here. Getting smoke detectors in homes. Smoke detectors save lives. We just did you guys see my my press release on 300 Main Street? That woman saved that building and probably saved some lives that night. And it was all because the smoke detector went off, and she had the wherewithal to go look at it and figure out what happened. The next one is just a small line, but just there was nowhere else to put it. An Apple Pencil for an iPad. I use one here. It would be for the deputy chief's iPad for him to be going out and using that. That Apple Pencil has made my life. Kevin saw me in action with it the other day. It's
I get these in my ear all day long.
Do you?
I'll keep an eye on it, see if I can grab some too.
yeah. They're amazing.
Yeah.
The next one is the NFPA link. The cost didn't go up about $90 this year, but this is the online code system. If you remember from years, last year was the first year we did this. The year before, I think the bill was almost $2,000 for the online codes. We've gone to a different system for the NFPA link. It saves us a lot of money, but we have 5 people that can use that online, and each person can get it on their computer, their phone, their iPad. Where before we had one license, it cost about $1,800. You had to be on that one computer. Now each person can get it on multiple devices, and it's about 1/3 of the cost. And the last is just a general educational supplies for use in the school, senior center, that kind of stuff. I highlighted this top. That's the line item from last year. I haven't updated that because it's not December 31st, and I didn't want to put up the wrong number in that.
So currently that account has 50.
That's from last year. That's not accurate. We've spent.
You bought the trainer.
We bought the trainer. We spent about $16,000 or $17,000 this year, and I believe we've raised about $13,000. So you probably minus $5,000 from
And you
that.
sold the trailer, did that just go in the general fund?
That just goes to the general fund.
Right.
That doesn't come back to
But
us.
we're not buying another one, so.
Nope.
because Let's just take things in a different direction.
So somewhere between $45,000 and $50,000.
That would be a guess. Kathy might be able to look it up.
And all these expenses total $16,000 and change.
Correct.
Do you anticipate any large scale purchases in the future?
I don't right now. That fire extinguisher trainer is brand new. That's great. Fire education is more about getting guys there than actual having that trailer. The trailer was great when it was there, but I personally don't see buying something else like that. It would be much smaller line items and stuff. I don't anticipate that. I think, in my opinion, a good use of this account is the arson investigator type stuff and getting the guys out in the community and allowing that to continue.
Any other questions?
Not
Paul?
here.
No,
All right, thank you.
It was, at the end of October, there was $67,276 in that account. But that's not subtracting what we have expended from it this year.
So there's about 50,000
So,
on it.
yeah, so there's about 50,000.
Okay. All right. Is there any other old business?
Can't think of anything.
All right, let's move on to new business, which is the warrant, which is in your packet.
Yes.
So this is like all the items from last year.
It's like
just
all
the-
the items from last year. I did put a number in for the operating budget, but after the meeting, budget committee next Monday, that will probably change because of the increase in the auditing, if they approve it. There's nothing in the archives and equipment replacement fund yet because they haven't completed it. The add to design engineering architectural fees, I left that one article in there, just in case. I didn't know what was going on, so we figured out, just like I left the land and building fund article in there as well. If I'm not mistaken, last year, if I remember correctly, they took the design and architectural fees and did not do the land and building fund. Right. And then the rest of it's just the boilerplate, add to, you know, the fire prevention expendable trust fund, and then the fire prevention budget, the communication towers, health insurance, and then the contingency fund, and that's where I stopped. This is just to get us to the point where, yes, we're gonna do this one, and I can take out what, you know, if you decide not to have anything.
And the order is, yeah, it seems like sometimes they put the budget item as the very last one. I don't know if that's to keep people at the meeting or
DRA does recommend all budget items are at the beginning.
not. Okay.
Why?
Get them over and done with.
I can't, there is a reason,
There
and
is a
I was in
reason.
a municipal association class, and they really, they strongly recommend it, and I can't.
Is it because
It's because.
any amendments and or additions and or special warrant articles get added to that
And I
number?
think they want people to
Yes.
know what their operating costs are, and then everything else is
Added
Pinned
to
to it.
is pinned to that. They don't want, you know, you're voting on a building, and then all of a sudden, well, your operating budget doesn't pass because of that.
Yeah, well, by the way,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, they,
you want your
Right.
operating budget first.
Yeah.
So, number one is just, that's the ballot voting that's gonna happen.
Yes.
Right. The operating budget, number two, where did you pull that $3,931,000?
That
Is that the
is,
budget committee's number?
that is the budget committee's number.
The budget committee's meeting one more time, right?
Yes, they are.
15.
And they're gonna be asked about that, auditing number as
Yes,
well.
so that number will be changing, possibly, but this was just what I had at that point in time. It was after I had done this that I found out from the auditors about the GASB 75. So I didn't bother to go back and change the number for that, because. So it's on page 6. In the middle, you will find the 3,931,000, bottom of page 6.
Well, maybe we need to take a step back and, I don't know that we've talked in much detail about the outcome of the budget committee's meetings where
They've been putting money back in that we,
putting money back in.
that we,
Yeah.
there's a lot of, gee, I don't think that's enough. So,
Was
It
there
just
any
gives
that you were
choices.
specifically surprised at or concerned with?
Not really. No. But, no. Was it last year, we get to the finish line, and I think it was Cunningham who got up and said, well, chief seems to know what he's doing the most, so let's go with the chief's, because there was a difference.
Mhm.
The commissioner's number was different than the chief's number, and the budget committee's number was different than the chief's number. So I think his motion was the one that had the voting body going for the chief's number. So if there's gonna be menu choices here, options.
No, those are all done. If you go to the next page, you see a total at the bottom. Because they just. But the operating budget is the budget committee's number.
Is the one they vote on.
That's the one
but
they
then
vote
amend
on.
on the floor.
Right.
Last year they amended on the floor.
$13,000, give or take.
Is the difference, yes.
All right. So, the operating budget, equipment and apparatus fund, Article 3. Do we have,
That's not, they have, the budget committee hasn't completed that, but your budget is done on that.
John?
And that total is, your total was $287,003
For the apparatus and
for
equipment.
the apparatus and equipment fund, that's the commissioners. And we're still waiting for the budget committee to
Yeah,
finish.
because they had some questions on a couple of things.
All right, so that's the numbers coming.
Yes.
Number 4 is the,
Do you want to add, how do you want to do it?
We don't know yet, because we don't have a number.
Right. So that number will be coming.
well, and, right, whatever that number we come up with, and then do we want to take it out of the land and building fund, or do we want to ask for it through taxation?
Well, we can ask, and then somebody might make a motion on the floor to
Pull it out of the,
amend, pull it out of somewhere else, or we don't know what the number's gonna be, so.
Don't, offhand, I don't think you can pull it out of the land and building fund.
I thought they did that last year.
Did they?
Didn't?
I'm
Or did they
looking
take it
at-
from the unreserved?
They did
There was
something
one
from
year
unreserved
where
fund
the
balance.
seated commissioners raised and appropriated through taxes, and then they didn't spend it, so it lapsed.
Right,
Mhm.
and then that
And
was
so-
put back.
The next year, we had to change the language, and we did fund it out of the unassigned
Okay,
fund balance,
that's
because that's
right.
where the
That's- yeah.
money was flushed into that
can you
tank.
look at the?
So we made a
meeting
motion to get
minutes
it
for
out of there,
To get
and
it.
then
what
make
we
it
ended up
non-lapsing,
doing there?
Mhm.
because they didn't spend it.
I am, let's see.
I know the $100,000 to add to the land and building fund did not pass last year, as I recall.
No, it did not.
And that was that whole, putting money aside for the future. And if you're never gonna spend it, you're taking money from taxpayers that are never gonna utilize the benefit of it. But then there's the other side of the coin where, the more money you put in an account, the less we have to borrow down the
Right,
road.
it's the least expensive money to.
If you only have $1 million in there, your project's gonna be 22 million.
Yeah.
I think it still should be in there.
I would agree.
Okay,
Let them
so,
vote it down, right?
so last year, you requested $111,000 to be raised by taxation. And it was amended on the floor to come from the land and building capital reserve fund, so it can be done, because they let it fly.
And then the land and building fund didn't get.
Didn't get funded either.
It did not get money.
Okay.
Because the budget committee wanted to, you recommended it and the budget committee did not.
All right, so are we in a favor on Article 4 that once we determine the dollar amount, are we gonna ask for that via taxation?
Yeah.
And if the floor decides to pull it from the, and then Article 5, we'll leave that in there. And if the, okay,
The 500,000,
yes.
okay.
All right, Article 6, that'll be whatever the total is in the fire prevention.
Of fees collected.
Of fees collected, and that will be as of December 31st.
And then, so we'll be transferring that money in Article 6, and then Article 7 will be to spend
Sean's budget.
Sean's budget. All right, are we in favor of that budget?
Yeah.
Do we need a motion?
Do we wanna do these all together, or do we wanna
Yeah,
pick,
we need,
do you wanna do a couple here and there? Do you wanna put in a
well,
heart?
can we can't really vote on the budget, because that's budget committee, right? Are we voting on the wording of the article, or what are
The
we voting?
wording. The warrant articles are your warrant articles,
Yeah.
except the numbers in the operating budget are the budget committee's numbers.
All right, so do we have to vote to approve each one of these articles?
Yes.
Oh, so, right.
Once we have.
Once the numbers are in there, why would you? Or just the wording?
Just the wording.
Okay.
And then, once the numbers are here,
We
Then-
gotta re-vote.
we'll revote. But at least the wording will be done so we can get that dealt with.
Because you have to send this to,
Yeah.
DRA.
Has to go to DRA, it has to go to our attorney. Because DRA was like, have your attorney check it. Okay. But if we're not changing any wording or anything other than the figures, it should be relatively easy for them.
right,
I'd like to hear the new attorney's take on the whole wording of funds appropriated do not affect the tax rate, because there are different opinions as to which things do and don't affect. It doesn't increase the tax rate. The money doesn't go to reduce the tax rate, so in effect, it doesn't.
if you look at the town of Carroll, Twin Mountain, they put every single, I mean, they're a SB2 or
Yeah.
some sort of,
Yeah.
and there's like 50 warrant articles for every little thing. And every single one says this adds 1 cent to the tax rate, and this one adds 2.3 cents to the tax rate.
They got sick of doing the math at the meeting night.
Right?
Well, they don't have a meeting night because they're SB2.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, $150 for Sally Sue, whatever. It's like,
Thank you, no thank you.
Wow.
well, I'm happy with the wording on Article 1.
Okay.
So, I guess I move that we approve Article 1, choose fire district officers as it's written.
Second.
All right, any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, the only thing we change on two is just the number.
Well,
Right.
and is it recommended by the Board of Commissioners? Is it recommended by the Budget Committee?
Well, if it's not our number, we're not recommending it.
Well, but
Well, you still might.
Oh,
You might agree with them
we
when
might.
all said is done and done.
I don't, but. I did my job in this meeting.
well,
I'm just watching it happen at that meeting.
I think if you put it's I don't know. You know me, I'm rolling China shop. So I think it causes consternation at the meeting when the budget committee and the commissioners don't agree, and then you get into a whole conversation which maybe sets the tone. Which this is early in the meeting, and we're not talking about. You know, we're off by $500,000.
Right.
We're off by 13,000. So it's. I mean,
But
you
if
still
you
have the
approved it-
discussion.
How come you agree if your number's lower? Why did you go, what?
Right.
We get all the questions, no matter whatever angle. If you recommended it, why didn't you change your number to their number?
That happened last year.
Yeah.
I hear you there.
Because we didn't. Oh, no, we didn't.
All right. Well, I'm okay with saying that the commissioners don't recommend it.
Oh, we won't, it's not done till it's done, till the budget committee puts their number in there.
Right.
So I think we're spinning our wheels on some of these if we don't have
You can,
the real
you
number.
can approve the wording.
Nah, we're wasting time.
All right. So we not want to vote on that one, or do we not want to vote on any of these?
I think the wording, I read them all when I got the email, and I think nothing's really changed from prior years.
The wording is basically the same,
Yeah.
it's just the number
It's just
changes.
the numbers aren't there. So I didn't see any showstoppers from my end of it.
All right. So then the question would be: is there any other items, any other articles that we need to draft?
I would think so.
I don't think so.
We're not talking trucks, we're not talking staff, we're not
No,
talking,
there really isn't.
we're not talking
Um,
bonds.
So we're not bringing the vehicles to district meetings, so I can go ahead and try to book the cafetorium. I've held off booking the school because of the buildings, the fire stations.
Oh,
Because if you're gonna put those towards the people, the crowd's gonna be a whole lot bigger
oh.
than without it. Because normally we have
Cafeteria.
cafetorium,
Yeah,
but if we were going to do the buildings,
buildings, bonds.
we'd have to go,
Yeah.
excuse me, bigger.
I think we've already decided we're not gonna bring the buildings, this year, so. Is there anything else that we would bring as far as an article?
I can't think of it.
I can't either. Alright. So do we need to do anything at this point? When do you have to send this in?
It will go in the first, let me see.
I guess my question is, do we need to do anything with this at this point? Kathy would like us to, but I don't think we
Well,
need
no, so long as you're okay with the wording, I can send it off as it is.
I think we have the right number of articles.
Yes.
And the correct articles.
to. I think the order's fine.
And you, yeah.
And so, you know, and the only thing that's gonna change as far as the wording goes is the monetary value.
Well, and whether we have,
Well, that will be added after.
Right.
So I could shoot this off to DRA as it stands today
Yeah.
and have them review it. And then when Paul gets back, we can finalize.
because we'll have the number, we'll have the year numbers.
Yeah, because she'll go back to me and she'll say, well, don't forget to put the numbers in and don't forget to, say whether it was approved or not,
Recommended.
recommended or not, yeah,
Okay.
so. And our first, the first meeting isn't gonna be until January 13th, because that's the second Tuesday.
Chief, you might have been out of the room, but we voted to approve your
Oh, thank you.
fire prevention budget.
Yeah, that one, we just gotta look at the number as to the money going in.
And we approved that, right?
Well, in theory.
No,
We didn't actually do vote?
no, you did
We
not
didn't
actually
solidify,
vote.
because we went back to the beginning.
Oh.
You got sidetracked, but
Sorry.
I think in theory that, that was one of the ones we had a hard number for, that we knew what was coming out, but we wanted to know we were gonna get the number of what was
So
going in.
you need to vote on
I make a
his-
motion that we approve the chief's fire prevention budget for 2026.
For article number 6, 7.
Set.
7.
In the amount of $16,598.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded. Any other conversation on that one?
16,000 what, please?
$16,598.
Thank you.
Additional conversation?
I'm gonna be a no because I'm gonna get an Apple Pencils at a much better deal. I'm gonna donate a couple.
If you can get some, then I promise I won't spend it.
Yeah, no, I know you will, but
Weapons, is that what they're pulling them for?
lost and found.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
know.
a big piece of it, is the lost and found stuff. I just went to the load today. But anyway, I mean, in theory, I think,
Alright,
it could go to staff or overtime. I'm just kidding.
all those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
If it's another person to do a training or,
Alright.
rather get you a couple spares.
Alright. Anything else on the warrant? Hearing none, let's move on. Alright, SB 245 contract. So earlier when you were talking about that, you said you had a meeting that was coming up, but it also sounded like we needed to sign this by...
So
So
I
this
was gonna, when I first sent this to you guys, I wanted to sign this and get this done. Since then, I've gotten a few emails that says people are gonna wait to sign it and have, till this, webinar happens. And then I'm also gonna send it off to Primex for review because they'll do our contract review. So now you have it at your attention. I think it's in the, again, I wasn't part of crafting this legislation. I think the heart of the legislation is a really good thing for not only New Hampshire, I think it's a good thing for our residents, I think it's a good thing for the fire department, but I want to make sure if we're signing it, if we're signing the correct document.
And
So,
is there a deadline? I thought I read that there was.
January,
is it January 1st, I thought?
hit
Yeah.
on that.
Well, the program starts January 1st,
Mhm.
but I was reading the frequently asked questions, and
It starts on the date you, and both the you and the carrier sign it.
If you haven't signed it before January 1st, then you're prohibited from taking part. If I'm reading that. Yes.
And I believe we can't, either way, we can't balance bill after January 1st. That's gonna be part of this either way. So I guess I do wanna sign it before January 1st, as long as Primex, or the legal opinion is it's okay to sign, and then we get the information we want. So I guess I would need permission to sign this, as long, I mean, I can,
Yes.
I
do
would
we
need
need
permission
to
to.
sign it, or we just need to give you permission?
You need to give
You
me
need to
permission
give
to
them
sign.
permission to
I
sign
can
it.
sign this as. But I just need permission from you to sign it. And I will keep you updated, to what Primex says, and I will keep you updated to what we learn at the webinar. Both Kathy and I will be at that webinar. That's a decision, you know, if you wanna have another meeting, I'm more than happy to.
So I'd make a motion conditional upon, Primex review and the completion of the webinar. Conditional
To authorize,
to authorize the chief to sign if all terms and conditions are met. If not, then shoot us and, you know, if we have to have a meeting, we'll have a meeting, but.
alright, I'll second that motion. So, the motion is to authorize the chief to sign the contract,
Conditional upon Primex.
Primex, approval and, seminar, review that there's no issues or changes that we're not unaware of. Or unacceptable, stipulations made.
I mean, if it gets into hot water after the webinar, so I think we can pull together a quick meeting and.
The New Hampshire Association of Fire Chiefs is deeply involved. That's where I got the information to
Yeah.
not sign this yet. So they're gonna give some good guidance on this
Yep.
too. New Hampshire Association of Fire Chiefs has been heavily involved in this,
Yep.
and they have a seat at the table. And they're gonna have good guidance. They have their lawyers on it too and stuff, so they're gonna have good guidance on this.
Any other discussion? Alright, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, Sean.
Next is the citation authority letter. I think I sent this out to you, and in your packet is SAFC 1100, which explains what I need to do to become citation. We haven't had a citation authority in a while. I was working towards this as the deputy chief. I had the chief's recommendation, and I was going actually about a month and a half ago to send all the paperwork in, because you just need your direct supervisor's approval. I don't, but right now you guys are my direct supervisor.
Well,
So
I guess I was wondering if this is something that should sit with you or with the deputy. One time.
honestly, it should probably sit with both of us.
Yeah.
But you have to. The new deputy will have to go to the citations class, and he'll have to. You have to be a fire prevention officer. For
We
at
can
least
have more than one.
You can have more than one. And again, we haven't cited anybody in probably 10 years, but it's one of those things that you need to go to the court system. We need to be able to have the ability to pull that. And it's just an administrative warrant. It's not a criminal warrant.
Well, I was just wondering what laws that we have the ability to enforce in two towns where there is Board of Selectmen and other, not conflicting, but,
I have two counties.
yeah, and just, you know,
So the state fire marshal grants me the authority to, for NFPA 1
Yeah.
and NFPA 1. I can't cite outside of that. I couldn't cite outside of fire code. This is only for fire safety violations. And again, it's an administrative warrant. It is not a criminal warrant. They're not used much in any department, any state, I mean, in any town or city. But when you need the authority to do it,
Yeah.
it's good to have it there. And again, the only reason it's coming to you
Still
guys,
yours?
I can sign it for the deputy chief, the deputy chief could sign it for a captain.
Right.
But you guys are my direct supervisors,
Yeah.
so I need your
So
permission.
this doesn't ruffle feathers with either town as far as authority?
No.
Okay.
No.
No, I mean,
This doesn't, I don't cross into the IBC, the building code.
Yeah.
They don't cross into the fire. We work together, I work with Guy and Chuck a lot.
Right.
You know, and the new deputy will too.
Who is it in Northfield now?
Guy Boucher, I think I'm saying his last name right.
You have prepared a
Yep.
sample.
Yep, if you guys want to sign, you could sign right here if you wanted to. If not,
Those are the only questions I had.
Yeah, I don't have a problem.
I'd make a motion. We're good to approve this.
I'll second it. Any additional discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. It's already dated up the top, right?
yeah, it was today's date. Yeah. And this has to be done for every time this position changes. So if I had a captain that was authorized to do this and he became a deputy, we'd have to do this paperwork over again. It's the same. Thank you very much.
All right, any other new business? Any additional comment from Deputy Chief Robinson?
Good.
Firefighter Stetson? Okay, review of minutes. Did you, I have the copy, I have reviewed the minutes.
Okay, well, I have copies for everybody else, because I didn't know if they
I've reviewed the public minutes, I should say.
Okay, so those are for Jason. Do you have any changes?
Which one is that?
They're both there, the 10th and the 12th.
Okay. I didn't have any problem with the 10th. Other than several of your attachments have come with, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but you send a 4-page document and it comes through as like 16 because it's repeated 4 times.
What?
The warrant, I got the warrant multiple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, something. Guess I better contact Mainstay.
Is that just on her end, or when you get something from me, is it happening also?
No, it was an attachment. So like the minutes, both sets of these minutes. You know,
Yeah.
And I
because
only
hit
attach
print,
it once.
because I always print and then sit here and make notes. I'm sitting there, wait a minute, it's 12 pages long. Somebody really got detail with these minutes, and then I realized it was repeated 4
Looped.
times.
Wow.
And to reiterate. That was a copy for everybody.
I thought I forgot to send them, so I just,
So you printed us all copies, you just didn't bring them.
Wow, that's sad. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on because I only
now I'm
attach it
checking
once.
before I hit print.
You're right, I got the warrant 5 times.
Really? Something's funky with our mail then.
Oh no, I got more than 5.
Oh boy.
Page 28 of 28.
Okay, good to know.
All right, I'll move the commissioners' meeting minutes from November 10th, 2025 as presented for approval.
Second.
Mackenzie did a great job with this set.
Good to know.
Any concerns, questions, or corrections?
nope, it's good.
All right, do we have a second in that? Okay, motion's been made and seconded, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll move the minutes for the commissioners meeting for November 12th, 2025 for approval.
Second.
I had, motion's been made and seconded. I had a couple concerns on
Well, these were a little rough.
these. Were,
Mackenzie didn't do these.
She did.
She did? Well, how come her name's not on them?
it is.
It is.
Says Kathy.
She didn't change the top.
Oh.
Yeah.
She threw you under the bus.
I didn't
So,
catch
She
that.
respectfully submitted.
Yep, she did.
Did she?
Um,
All right, so we'll fix this.
so,
So I'm teasing.
I'll start with the ones I noticed.
Yeah.
100 on the first page under 4220 fire, and it says 100 salaries and wages discussion about steps and COLA hat.
Ugh.
This just doesn't flow very well there.
Was it Diet Cola or regular Cola?
Wow. I guess
Just-
maybe I should have checked it.
yeah, just proper wording there.
Had transpired, had occurred, had ensued.
Ensued is probably the one I was going with.
Pursued.
Okay.
On the
Promulgated.
second page, under 631, service testing,
Yes.
Commissioner Wright motioned this line for 17,000. Commissioner Sattler seconded the motion, but would like the interim chief Mulvaney to review first. Commissioner Sattler seconded the motion of this. The full wording there is repetitive.
All right, so we'll just get rid of second sentence. And then we'll get rid of the 17,000 for this line. We'll just say you seconded the motion.
Right. Under total fire equipment, two items down, last sentence, or it says discussion about other equipment had. With no additional discussion, vote was taken, motion carried.
How about occurred?
I was always taught, well, once you do this, you just read it out loud and see if it
Yeah.
makes sense. Those are the only thing I noticed right off. You guys see anything else?
Well, this is the first time Mackenzie's ever done minutes, so I thought she was doing
Yeah,
a good job.
yeah.
What was that one? Thought I just saw it when I lost it. The other had.
Oh, there was another one?
Well, the one you just said.
Oh, total fire equipment.
Oh, no line number.
No.
Okay.
Should there be one?
I will check that.
Okay. Anything else?
Make a motion to approve these as revised.
All right, I'll second that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, do you have non-public minutes?
Yes. It's easier to do that. There's three sets there.
My schedule got changed today. 2 days a week, till January 1st.
Oh, awesome.
So I'll be working Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm all right with that.
Scalable still?
No, that ended officially today. In fact, they're doing my job. Steve came back. But it's quiet down there. People can get sand and driveway.
Yeah.
Especially on a cold day. Decided it's not worth starting things up and put asphalt down this time of year.
You gotta go to Portsmouth to do it? Somewhere down Rochester?
Usually, yeah. I'm just wondering if Brox and Hooks it still runs with plenty of notice.
You wanna do them in aggregate or separately, or?
I think we should do them separately.
Okay,
because
so
we-
make a motion to move November 10th, non-public before the discussion.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes to the non-public session for November 10th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Do we need to seal those?
Good. I make a motion, we seal the November 10th non-public minutes until the matter is resolved and applicable.
All right, I'll second that. Any discussion? All right, motion to seal the minutes for the non-public November 10th, 2025 session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Yes, I make a motion to approve the November 24th non-public as presented.
I'll second that. Any discussion? Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the non-public minutes from October 24, 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Make a
Aye.
motion to seal November 24th non-public as still matters resolved as applicable.
I'll second it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Do we need to review manifest?
We do.
Is there anything-
And we also have disposition reports.
All right, so that we need to go into non-public.
Yes.
Do we have the disposition reports?
Yes.
Do you want us to review the manifest first?
If you wish.
And is that the gist of your meeting?
Any
If there's
closing
nothing else that
comments?
would involve me? I'm out of here.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
See you later, Mike. So you're working Thursday?
Yes.
Okay.
So Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Till January 1st, and then we'll reevaluate.
I'll catch up with you later this week.
Yep. Sounds good.
So this is which one?
That's the pro.
Pro. Are they, is that what it has to be?
I don't.
I don't know the compatibility of the, I gotta go get an education.
So the only reason I got that one, the other one was 109 and this is 129.
Yeah.
And the Corey who sells us this stuff, he told us to get the pro.
Pros.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know either. I'm gonna.
I know this one has like a little pressure point where you squeeze and different stuff happens, but 90% what I do is just.
We get fistfuls of these stupid things.
I know you can replace the tip on this one. I don't know if you can on the other one. And this one it charges.
In
That's
the cradle.
right.
Yeah.
It's charging now.
Oh yeah,
So
that's good.
I don't know if that's on all of them.
Yeah, I remember the old ones, the oldest ones had like a lightning thing on the end.
Yeah, to plug
You
in.
go right into it, yeah.
What did you get from New Hampshire Correctional Institute? Is that
Those are the truck.
The truck check sheet. So every time a truck check's done in the morning, or sometimes at Park Street, the truck check, and it's a permanent record.
pre-printed form kind of thing?
Correct.
Carbonless or something?
It is two piece. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
two-part form. So they can rip it off, and that way, if there's a problem, they can put it on my desk, and I take care of the problem. If not, they can throw it away. But we have the yellow copy forever, and we keep them for a long time. Mm-hmm. Me too.
Or a doctor?
can sign, I should sign it probably.
Yes, please.
That's right. You look like you got a lot of thinking going on.
Take it all in.
Then that time must have been snows.
Yep. Yeah, the two different, because we have to go through Casey for the car, but we have to go through Travis for the two ambulances because of the different, that's the same.
So like these that should have been paid from the apparatus equipment, did that put money back into the operating budget? Or were they paid wrong and had to be just
Yes,
moved over?
they were paid wrong and had to be moved over.
Okay, so that got you a little
A little-
flow back into
Yes.
that, okay,
Yeah.
into the operating.
Wasn't much, but every little bit helps right now.
Can't rub two nickels together if you only got one.
So true.
Is that what you pay for Adobe for one license or two?
That is
Three.
3 licenses.
I've got to buy 3 more. That's 3. That's every month, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's the last one.
What's that? Does Mackenzie have one?
No, she
No.
does not.
Okay.
It's just the captains, the deputy, no,
It's the deputy.
Deputy,
chief
you and me.
Yeah,
yes.
they have to use the deputy's computer when they need it. Yeah. And now they've cracked down, I noticed.
Yes, they have.
They started making you sign out. 'Cause I
Yes.
used to have it on my laptop, my iPad, and my desktop, but you can only be signed in 2 places, so it makes me sign out somewhere. And I can't use it in all 3.
I know, it's like,
Do you have to be at that device to sign out from it, or can
No, you can do
No.
it from the device.
like
you're
if
on.
you're out on the street, you don't have to get back on the stage?
No, I can
Boy, that'd be a
say,
pain.
yeah, I can say sign out of
Closed
this
session,
device.
yeah. That was-
Yeah, used to be able to have it on my phone, my iPad, my laptop, and my
I
desktop.
thought it was mine. All right.
next.
Well, I'm gonna sign it on the 9th, even though my colleagues signed it yesterday. They're way ahead of me.
I followed him.
Oh, wait, I need the big clip. You get the small. I got this big stack here. Yeah. That made it quite into this one.
Thank you.
We're just trying to buy an extra day.
I already have that one back.
You just sent the birthdays
When do you
yesterday.
fly out tomorrow, Paul?
Something like
Huh?
that.
You fly out tomorrow?
Sandy,
Saturday?
Sandy morning.
And when are you coming back?
29th.
Probably have a timer. Energy management would be the smart thing. Not when I wake up and it's -4 in my truck, but rough
Others were
morning.
working hard this morning at work.
Man, my power steering hated me. Liberty's the gas, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They're in the middle of a big office move or something.
They're moving off Industrial Drive?
Yeah, is it regional?
Oh, regional,
Yeah,
yeah,
first
that's
thing.
regional,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, they got rooms and rooms and rooms of furniture they're trying to get rid of. So I don't know if they're just renovating in place or,
If they have any good desks, let me know.
yeah.
Original plastic table, that's 20 years old.
Yeah, I hope the outfit, the news station, but,
Did all these white chairs go through the state? Because
no, but you know what? I've seen this in about 5 different colors.
Oh,
There's blue ones, there's orange ones, there's
well,
brown ones.
we recovered all ours in blue.
Oh, yeah, we
But you see these all over the state.
yeah, these little sled chairs are they're crazy. Thank God we paid for the Mohegan Sun. Going away from shoot.
But
No, I'm not there yet. Is it true that wax cards are non-taxed? As far as you don't pay the fuel tax? Or
there is no fuel tax.
on the wax one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That was always my understanding.
Yes, and there's both there with it, there's 3 sheets there that show you that there is no, that they
Yeah.
backed out the tax.
It's- Hoping that was reality or still reality.
It is.
Donna Hugh Tucker, that's who we had to get as an alternate, right?
No, that's our.
That's our
That's
real one?
our yeah.
Oh, that's
Yes.
DTC.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I hate to see your bill.
I haven't got the final one yet. I know that I paid a retainer and, yeah, I owe him more. Not much, I don't think.
And then Upton and Hatfield, was that the,
Yes.
that was the, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do anything for us in December?
Don't.
I still have $3,000 in the estimate, just in case,
Okay.
for
Because
that line.
I'm thinking that maybe,
Yeah, just in case,
yeah,
in my little estimate there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
because I'm thinking on the 1st.
All right, we need to go into
Thank you.
non-public.
Have
Disposition
a good night.
reports.
I won't be in till probably noon tomorrow,
Okay.
but then I'm gonna be there till probably 7 o'clock.
Well, I make a motion, we enter based on whatever paragraph you start reading.
Okay,
Let's see.
seconded by,
A second.
all right, RSA 91-A:3, Roman numeral 2, bracket C, matters which if discussed in public would likely adversely affect the reputation of any person other than a member of this board unless such person requests an open meeting. This exemption shall extend to include any applicant for assistance or tax abatement or waiver of fee, fine, or levy if based on the inability to pay or poverty of the applicant. Roll call vote to enter non-public. Paul Ogier.
Yes.
Tim Sattler, yes. Jason Wright.
Yes.
All right, we're going into non-public at 7:44 p.m.
Are we back?
So is this, are we back over here?
Yes.
Oh, so the Tilton Northfield Fire Commissioners meeting of December 9th, 2025, coming out of non-public at 8 p.m. We don't need a motion to seal these.
No, we never have.
You just need a motion to adjourn.
Just wants to go home.
Any other business to come before the commissioners? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So
Motion
moved.
made by Jason, seconded
Do
by
it.
Paul.
Dan.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn at 8:01 p.m.